Joining us for our panel this morning, Lara Greaves, political commentator. Good morning. Good to see you. Also joining us, Sam Stubbs, Simplicity CEO. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, Christopher Luxon under a bit of a pressure, and we saw the approval ratings. I mean, everyone knows this story.
Yeah, it's the boy who cried wolf at this point, right? Like, that's what I feel like every time, like, having this conversation, every so often, is Luxon going to be rolled? Like, that seems to be something that we talk about it's like on a rotation almost. Yeah, I mean, one day it will happen.
One day.
And we'll all just be like, wow, I've got 10 missed calls. Whoa, what's happened?
But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, the strategy is wait until the economy improves next year, and then if things aren't turning around then you can roll them late in the piece.
So I think you had said it before that Nicola Willis said something like the election's a year away,
yes,
which does sound like a November election, which is the latest you'd do it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for them to wait till the latest possible moment, just kind of crossing your fingers or, I don't know, intervening in the economy. I'm not an economist, but whatever, like just waiting the latest possible date. And that seems like what's happening. But if you were looking at the polls and say the polls were doing this and they have been doing this, if you're one of the people in cabinet, are you going to roll him? Does that necessarily make sense to spend all that time getting people together, getting the support, going for it, and then kind of being Prime Minister for 2 months or something,
yeah,
you know? And then losing, and then there's your career gone and you're not a cabinet minister anymore. And so you don't get to enact your, kaupapa, your policies, your whatever. Instead, you're just out.
Do you think, Sam, that there's a leadership problem or just an economic situation that would be difficult for anyone to steer through?
I think, well, a little bit of both. I mean, the economy's in a funk, right? But that's the same all around the world. It's not particular to New Zealand. That's the overhanging thing, right? That's what people respond to, right? The wallet book. Is there a leadership issue here? Look, he is, he's what I call a retail politician. And that works really well in some circumstances and it doesn't work really well in others. So whether it's a leadership issue, we're going to find out because the party will roll them if it really is. They'll be the best judge of that.
100%. All right, and there's there's a year for them to do it now, we know. Now, is there such a thing as an ethical billionaire? We've talked a lot about billionaires lately because Elon Musk is going to get... I mean, there's a lot of caveats to it. He has to do a lot of stuff to get this big payday. But there are a lot more billionaires now than there's ever been before. But then we're all a lot wealthier than we've ever been before too.
I'm not convinced. I'm just really not convinced, to be honest. I mean, the inequality's going like that. I mean, all the data shows that. And I mean... I think there's something inherent in becoming a billionaire that means that you're perhaps not going to be the most ethical person. Think about what you'd need to do now to become a billionaire. Backup career for all of us. He's most likely. Is that what we'd need to do? And it would be a lot of exploiting resources, probably exploiting people, probably not paying them properly. You'd have to do a lot of that kind of thing. And I don't know, exploiting data. That's the new kind of ticket. So I don't know, there's something about becoming a billionaire that I think inherently you're perhaps not the most ethical person.
Right. But then you make huge advancements. Look at Elon Musk and electric cars. Yeah. And, we were 5 years ahead of where we would have been because of Elon Musk. Yeah. I mean, yes, you are exploiting people and exploiting resources, or are you using them to advance humanity?
Yeah, look, first of all, on the record, I'm not going to be a billionaire.
I think he's first out of us. I was just saying out of us three.
I run a charity. Winston Churchill said, capitalism is the worst form of economic organisation, except for all the others. Right?
Yeah.
And I completely agree with you. You have to allow people to become billionaires, right? You can't squash innovation and drive and energy. What you do with that money when you have it, though, is an interesting personal ethical issue. Because I can promise you, none of those billionaires feel rich enough. They always want twice as much as they currently have. Right? And if you think about social fraying, the fabric in society fraying, it's about relative wealth. It's not about absolute wealth. You're absolutely right. We all live richer than any king or queen ever has in history. Antibiotics, toilet paper, cars, telephones. We're so wealthy, absolutely, but relatively we feel poorer all the time. And the seeds of revolution are sown in inequity. It's how poor you feel relative to the richest person. So the problem with being an ethical billionaire is not do you give the money away or not. It's that we are allowing a society to stretch the definition of wealth and poverty. And these people, they get angry. What's that New Zealand song? The rich get richer, the poor get the picture, and then they get the pitchforks, right? So if you're a billionaire, you have to think seriously about you had better be philanthropic. You had better be ethical, because otherwise your kids and grandkids are going to have their heads chopped off.
Yeah,
That's what history tells you.
It's Midnight Oil, by the way. They're Australian.
Midnight.
Oh, it was Midnight Oil. Oh, okay.
But yeah, okay, no, I get that, and this is why the other day I put into ChatGPT, when is the next revolution going to happen?
What did it say?
It said not until at least 2080.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
well,
safe.
maybe.
So we've got time. We've got time. But yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But without billionaires, we wouldn't. You would never tackle climate change, would you?
I think other people would do it. I think collectively governments would do it. Like I think that, or maybe not governments, but people, some kind of collective, or it might have been companies, I don't know, as a sort of collective. I don't think you necessarily need billionaires to tackle innovation.
All right.
I think other people are innovators and like try their hand at things. And there's different ways of like, there's different models for companies, whether it's charities or NGOs or whatever. I think there's still other places that people innovate.
Uber drivers, so they have won the battle. This is the for drivers to be employees, to get employee status. Lara, does this threaten the gig? The model that gets these billionaires quite rich.
Yeah, exploiting others. I think this is a hard one for me because I love a side hustle. I love a contract here and there, and to be able to pick up different side hustles. But it's very different for me as someone who has full-time employment elsewhere with employment rights and annual leave and good stuff like that, versus someone on a day-to-day basis who their livelihood is Uber. And yeah, shout out to so many of my family members that pick up Uber shifts here and there to get that extra money for like baby stuff or whatever it is. But I think, yeah, if your day-to-day Uber's your main job, I think that's quite concerning, because it's like, how are those people going on a day-to-day basis to have to live like that? Yeah.
The other thing is, we will have to pay. I mean, if this judgment was applied to all the drivers, we would be paying more for Uber, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would, and then of course that's going to, encourage innovation. Then we can have driverless cars. We'll have driverless Ubers.
Well, yeah.
Before too long, right? So this is the normal to and fro. This is capitalism operating, moderated by the courts and moderated by the legal system. So there's nothing unusual about what's going on here. It went a little bit too far. The courts have come in and said no. You have to pull it back a little bit, and then you let innovation and science is going to sort out how we actually get around it in a few years.
All right. Just finally, just to finish. If I said to you, you could be a billionaire tomorrow, would you want to be a billionaire?
No, I just want like 10 mil. I'm good with that.
Just. Sam?
Well, that's the academic talking to the business, but you're absolutely crazy. Of course you'd want to be a
100%.
billionaire. So give it all away.
100%. You could imagine.
Nah. No, you guys don't have cousins like mine.
Too annoying.
I'm a Westie. I know what it's like.
He does have cousins.
Sam Stubbs and Lara Greaves on the panel this